Hey everybody, it is Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and man oh man, have I been blessed this past week or two when it comes to people lending the Texas Gun Vault guns for review. And I got some awesome guns I got to get to the range this weekend. And I got another one tonight. And this one is coming from someone that hasn't lent the channel any guns in a while, but he's a good friend. I talk to him a lot, and he has an amazing collection. His name is David, and if you've been following the channel for a long time, you might remember me talking about him in the past. He has impeccable taste and an impeccable collection. And I guess this is a recent pickup of his that I think he was actually disappointed with, because he took it apart, he bought it, and said, "It doesn't feel quality to me. But everyone else is ranting and raving about this. You know a little something about Berettas. What do you think?" And so he lent it to the channel for review. And it's a gun that I have been personally interested in. And let me show you what that is. It is the Beretta 80X Cheetah. Yeah, the 80X Cheetah. So this is in 380. It's a double stack. And it carries 13 rounds, and I think pretty much it is the modern and upgraded version of, this is my personal gun here, the Beretta 84 FS. Now the 84 is a double stack 380, and the 85 is a single stack 380. And I have seen this resurgence in 380 pistols the past year. You know, Glock came out with the US version of the Glock 28. And I've seen other companies come out with 380s that are actually not those super small ones, actually ones that are kind of getting close to the 9mm subcompact or even compact sizes, because this is a pretty darn big 380. And I don't know, things just kind of come and go, and there's just a trend right now for 380. And so when Beretta announced this particular pistol, it was released to a lot of pomp and circumstance. And I see why. Because obviously it looks like it's Big Brother, the 92 series, but it uses a different action. This is straight blowback, where the 92 uses that dropping block. But aesthetically it looks the same, has that open top design. I mean, it just has that Beretta look. And a lot of people think this look is very, very sexy. But since Beretta has updated the 92 series with, you know, front and rear cocking serrations, they have, what is it, is it the X series? I forgot what they call it. I guess it is the 92X. They've adjusted the grip where, you know, originally, in fact, these two grips show this difference, where the old classic Berettas have the hump here in the back, and then the 80X has the flat back strap, which I believe for a while Beretta was calling that the Vertex grip on the 92s. But they've updated this. It looks better with the front and rear cocking serration, so you get more purchase when it comes to racking the slide. I think the grips are a little bit more ergonomic. If you like that flat back strap, you get that. The sights on this one are dovetailed in the front, and there's a plate in the back for optics, which people are going to like. But this 84 FS is old school. You can take out the rear sight. Those are dovetailed, and not a lot of adjustments on it. And that front sight is just milled right into the slide, so you don't get much of an option there. But of course, this being a 380 and a small gun, it's designed for close-up and personal use, for personal protection. It's my understanding that 380 is a pretty popular caliber in Europe, but it seems to be very functionally the same. The placement of the safeties are the same. The trigger pull's about the same. It's really kind of long, heavy. Both of them kind of are that way. Maybe the 80X is a little bit lighter. They have more of a modern trigger. I shouldn't say trigger. Why'd I say trigger? Hammer on this. Different hammer spur. Here's the old classic one. That's the 84 FS. I guess the triggers look about the same. Let me see here. Well, the 80X does not have a stop on the back, where the 90, I keep saying 92. The 84 FS does have a stop in the back right there. So that is a little bit different. But the frames look similar. This one obviously has a rail. So it's like a 92A1 style, but scaled down for a 380. So a lot of differences. I think one of the big differences that I do like is the fact that in the old 80 series, in fact, let me safety check this firearm. We have nothing in the chamber. The magazine is out, and yeah, it has a magazine disconnect safety, which a lot of people don't like. And anytime you have a pistol to have one of those, that can really affect the trigger pull. It even says it on the slide here. It says, does not fire without magazine. And once again, I hate it when companies put big old instruction manuals and information on the side. You don't need to do that. This one, however, says fires without magazine. So let's check and see if that's correct. Obviously, we will safety check this gun. And yeah, it fires without the magazine. So that probably means the trigger pull is going to be a little bit better. I like some things about this, and I don't like others. Now, David has put on a Surefire XSC light on this. And he just says that's the way that he likes to run them. Now, I think for my personal review, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to show you why. One of my initial reactions when I bought my 84 FS was the double action pull, and after the reset, the trigger is very far forward. And I have some bigger fingers here, not gigantic, but they are a little bit of meat sausages. And there's not a lot of room here to put my finger in there. And that trigger is very curved, and it's already rubbing on some of the trigger guard there, the bottom of the frame. This trigger is exactly the same. It's very far forward, but now with the light, my finger gets, look at that. It gets kind of caught in there. I don't have a lot of room. If I had to get my finger on that trigger fast, I can see pulling this out of a holster, and I cannot get my finger on that trigger or comfortably on that trigger. So I'm probably going to take this off for the review, but I will talk about that issue and adding accessories in the review. So the 80X Cheetah. Another complaint I have about these in general is the fact that these are expensive. Even the 84s and the 85s. For what they are, being a 380, they're expensive. I want to say I paid like $650 for this thing. These are like $750 or $800, and I think there's even like a special version that's like $1,400 with a special finish on them. That's a lot for a 380. But it doesn't feel as nice as a 92. Once again, it is direct blowback. But I understand what David is saying, in that when you rack the slide and you look at the parts, it really feels like there's a lot of mem parts, a lot of cast parts in here. And to be honest with you, I don't know, let me see here. I guess that looks like the barrel is chrome plated. It's not in the front. On the 92 FS, it is. Maybe just the chamber is plated. Yeah, that's definitely hard chrome plated in the old one. This one just might be polished. I don't know. It doesn't have that same shine to it. So this barrel doesn't seem to have the hard chrome lining, which I do like in most guns. But it does feel a little bit cheaper. And I do know that when guns are made by companies and they're scaled down versions of bigger guns, they always kind of cut corners to make things easier to manufacture, cheaper to produce, and because this gun is probably not going to have as much wear and tear as a 92, you don't need as durable of parts. And I think it kind of suffers from that a little bit. Not that the gun is going to shoot bad, but it's that feeling that you get when you pick it up and you dry fire it and you rack the slide. You hear the slide in the frame. In fact, it's kind of scratchy. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Let me see what my 92, my 84 sounds like. Okay, I still have a little bit of scratch in there. It's not as much though. This is definitely smoother than the 80X. But yeah, it's just one of those things. And I can see where somebody might be a little bit upset, because if you're going to drop $850 or maybe even $1,000, because these are kind of hard to find, you're going to expect a certain build quality. You expect all the small parts to have a certain feel to them. And this one might not have it. Not that anything sticks out as being, very poor. It just doesn't have the same quality feel. But I'll take it apart, and maybe a good video for me to do would be to compare and contrast these two guns. Not a shooting video, but just kind of like a addendum to the range report to show the differences. I think I'm going to do that. I think that would make a good video for people that are curious, because there's a lot of these old 80 series guns out there between the 84s, the 85s. I think there was the 80BB and the 80X Cheetah. Now, Beretta also likes to name a lot of their guns after cats, like the 32 ACP tip-up barrels called the Tomcat. They have, I'm trying to think, a few other guns that have cat names, which I'm not opposed to. I don't mind them calling that, but they've never put that name on the slide or the gun. I'd have to check my Tomcat. Maybe it is, but I don't think it is. But this one says 80X Cheetah here on the slide. And that to me is a little bit cheap. I'm fine with it just saying 80X. And maybe on the box you put Cheetah. Everyone knows, it's the Cheetah model. But this is a made in Italy gun, has all the Italian proof marks. I think my other one is made in Italy as well. Yeah, it's made in Italy. And this one does say 84FS Cheetah. So I guess they kind of put it on there, but it's a lot more discreet here on the frame. Where here on this one they put it on the slide, it's a lot bigger. You see it. Once again, they just have read manual before use. Stop putting all these instructions on the gun. Stop doing that. But anyway, this should be a fun review. So what do you guys think? Do you own yet an 80X? Or do you want one? And what do you guys think about the resurgence in 380 in guns coming out, and that for personal self-defense? For a while people are trying to buy the most powerful handgun you can in the smallest package with the most capacity. Everyone's all about 10 millimeter and blah, blah, blah. And then we have this resurgence in 380, which is anemic compared to 9 millimeter. So what do you guys think? I know there's some loadings out there for 380 that do meet the FBI ballistic standards. And in a larger gun like this, you can probably get those ballistics pretty easy. But a 9 millimeter is still going to be more effective. So give me some of your thoughts in the comment section. Are you excited about me reviewing this? Do you own one? If you've shot one, what are your opinions? Or do you own any of the 80 series, the 84, 85, the 80? I think there was an 82? I don't know. They had a whole bunch of those in various calibers, smaller calibers like 32, 380, so forth. 22. So if you guys have any of those and have any experience with those, tell me what you think, or if you've compared the two in the past. It would really help me out of giving me some ideas of things to look for. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.